As Iran prepares to bid the final goodbye to its late supreme leader, a fresh exchange of fire with the U.S. threatens to trigger a larger conflict. Khamenei's burial follows a multi-day funeral ceremony, remember, that attracted millions of mourners across several parts in both Iran and Iraq. The ceremony has become a show of unity, grief and anger for the Iranian leaders and the general public. But just as the funeral rites headed into their final day, the U.S. launched new strikes on Iran in retaliation for attacks on shipping in the vital Strait of Hormuz. Iran claimed 2 days of U.S. strikes killed 14 people and left 78 injured. The U.S. Central Command has said they had struck approximately nearly 170 military targets in 2 days. 90 of them on the second day. Iran's Revolutionary Guards accused the U.S. of targeting 2 bridges leading towards Mashhad in an effort to overshadow Khamenei's funeral. The train service between Tehran and Mashhad was suspended. All of this just hours before Khamenei was to be buried in the city. Iran launched a swift retaliation. Iran's military said it targeted sites in Kuwait, Qatar and Bahrain with one-way attack drones. The targets included a Patriot missile interceptor system in Kuwait, an early warning system in Qatar, and fuel tanks in Bahrain. The latest exchange of strikes appeared to dim hopes of turning a memorandum of understanding into a permanent deal to end the war. U.S. President Trump has already said that the MOU is over, but said that he did not expect a return to full-fledged war. Flying back to the U.S. from a NATO summit in Ankara, Trump boasted that the U.S. hit Iran very hard, claiming that the Iranian side now wanted to make a deal badly.
Another way of doing it. We have many ways we can win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago, they want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the problem. Because it's sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of control, but they want to make a deal. Badly.
Iran's chief negotiator struck a defiant tone meanwhile, saying the Strait of Hormuz would be opened only under Iranian arrangements. In fact, Ghalibaf said that the U.S. still has not learned that bullying and breaking its promises no longer come without consequences. Sending a message to the U.S., if you strike, you will be struck. And earlier, we spoke to James J. Marlowe, foreign and defense analyst from London. Listen into the perspectives that were shared.
Firstly, there is more support for this funeral and for the Ayatollah Khamenei in Iraq and in Lebanon and in other places, small places in Yemen, than there is in Iran. So that's worth noting as well, because the overwhelming majority of people just want this regime completely gone. But it does have support, as you mentioned, in Iraq and, of course, the Shiite community, mostly in the south and parts of Lebanon, parts of Beirut, rather, in Lebanon. In terms of what President Trump has said, and we just saw that clip again, I don't think it helps. It doesn't help world affairs, and it doesn't help the American people really understand what's going on when the president keeps saying, well, we've got them militarily, we've sunk their navy, we've destroyed their air force, etc., etc. He said this many, many times because clearly they still have these weapons in operation and they're using them.